Alrighty, it's the 10th of December. It's time to drink some more beer. We have a bottle from Graff. Crikey! Ooh, dark stuff again. In contrast to yesterday, there's a lot more roasted malts, a lot more licorice kind of characters in me here. A lot more chocolate. Ironically, a lot more chocolate instead of coffee. I don't get the coffee here. I get the roast and the chocolate, which is sort of like, if I had read the label for the chocolate stout yesterday, this is sort of more of the direction I would have expected the beer to go in. So yeah, chocolate, a little bit of sweetness, roast, like harder roast. Man, how do you describe that? Sort of a sharper roast, not a full round coffee-ish roast, but more of a sharper kind of thing. But then there is like sort of chocolate notes in the back there, as well as a little bit of a sort of like an oat porridge kind of thing going on in the background. It's just a huge showcase of maltiness here. I'm not picking up any adjuncts. Maybe a little bit of vanilla. Yeah, but no. I'm thinking no adjuncts here, just a straight stout. What makes me say stout instead of porter? Well, nothing really. I can't really tell the difference between them. Let's go in for a taste. Yeah. So this is more what I classically expect. I know I said this about the last Graff beer too, but this is more what I classically expect of a lighter kind of stout under 4.7%. It's got quite a thin body. That works for it here because it means that it's a lot easier drinking. It doesn't have that like resistance that the chocolate stout yesterday had. This isn't a beer that I would really want to sit with over a long period of time and let it warm up and sort of drink it really slowly. This is something I could drink a little faster. It's almost the kind of thing that I would expect to be served at an English pub. Something that you could drink a pint of that has a nice side of maltiness to it, but is quite easy drinking. I actually think it's a little too cold at the moment, and I think that's probably masking a bit of the flavour. It's really the first time I've reacted to how cold it is in this entire calendar, but I definitely feel like some of the flavour is being masked here. I think it may benefit from being warmed a little bit. I might actually just try and do that. A moment, please. Alright, that's a little bit better. I'm picking up a little bit more of those porridgey notes, a little bit of the maltness. I think when it was too cold, it was favouring those sharp, roasty malt notes, which they tend to be a little sharp, yeah. So as it's warmed up, it's become a little rounder and a little more interestingly malty, but still quite easy drinking. Not a huge body there. It's really quite dry. There's barely any finish to it. I actually think that, and I was thinking this while I was warming it up, I actually think that this would be a really good beer to pair with a really nice whiskey, because it's not overbearing. It clears the palate with the sort of with the CO2 and with some other tastes. It's quite different. So I think this is a great thing to have alongside a nice nipping whiskey. And to test that out, I've pulled over High West, a Midwinter Night's Dram, which is a rye whiskey from Utah, which has been finished in port barrels. Unfortunately not available in Norway. But I think rye whiskey generally could work well here. Oh, delicious. Oh man. Those notes of vanilla and dill and a little bit of red currant. Oh, nutmeg and cinnamon, man. This is absolutely brilliant whiskey. Rye is a little bit bourbony, but because it's an American whiskey. So American rye whiskey is generally aged on new oak, which means it ends up having a lot of the same notes as bourbon because they come from the cask. So a lot of vanilla, a lot of icing sugar, a lot of often cinnamon and nutmeg. And a lot of that stuff is there, but on the side from the rye, you have more sort of dill notes, almost like pickle notes. And then you get this berry edge, which is almost like something you'd get in a cognac or an armagnac on the side here, which comes from the port. It's just an absolutely outstanding whiskey, which unfortunately you have to travel to the US to buy, or get someone in the US that you know to send it to you. Now let's see how the beer holds up to that. That's awesome. Those are really complementary things. The whiskey adds to the beer, and the beer it gains this extra layer and then washes away the flavors of the whiskey, which just clears you and prepares you for a new sip of the whiskey. It's absolutely brilliant. Try it with whatever you've got. I mean, I think that's an absolutely great beer to be drinking alongside a whiskey. All right. That was a bit of a sidebar. Let's get back to the beer. Let's say it's an oatmeal stout. Just under 4.7%. No adjuncts, no lactose. Let's see how I went. That would be Graff's Dry Stout. All right. So I was sort of back on target today, at least. That's good to know. So we've got, no oatmeal this time. Not sure where those flavors were coming from. 4.6%. And it's just a dry stout. Yeah, I mean, it does what it says on the tin, doesn't it? It is a dry stout. And for that, I think it is full marks. I mean, whether you like this or not is going to be more to do with whether you like a dry stout than whether you like this specific beer. But I think it's great stuff. It's good to pair with food. It's good to pair with whiskey. It's a great pairing beer, if not a beer to sit and enjoy on its own. Even though that's a great thing to do as well. It's so easy to drink. And I'm going to go do that and edit this video. So that was all for today. See you tomorrow.